What's up, all you beautiful humans out there? I am the Hendry Skits, Jacob Hendricks.
And I am Slam the
man.
Stapleton.
Slam the man.
Stapleton.
Linden. Hell yeah.
And we're doing this new thing called a podcast.
Well, really, it's an old thing, but
It's an old
new
thing
for us.
Oh yeah, it is.
New for us here at IEB.
Heck yeah, we're seeing how this is gonna work out. See if it will be a good thing for test audiences and for us. It's gonna be a little bit harder because of situations, but hopefully we can continue this down the line, I guess.
For sure. And we greatly appreciate everyone's feedback in the comments, and please let us know if you have any improvements or suggestions, or if you
Or
like
questions.
what you hear. Questions? Yes, we'll have
Yes.
questions at the end.
Well, no, actually,
No?
because this is our first podcast, we don't have anything to really questionize. But
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
here's the thing, though. If you would like a question answered on this podcast, which it'll probably be
Oh, I
either
see.
weekly or bi-weekly, not totally sure on that. Just
We're gonna call it Slam's Mailbag.
yes, Slam's mailbag.
That's awesome.
We're gonna take questions, but if you want your question asked, just comment below, and we will take as many questions as possible. Yes, Slam's mailbag.
Stay
I don't
tuned
know
for
why,
that.
I don't know why it's just that hilarious. But,
It was.
and yeah, so here we go. Let's
All right.
start with the life
Let's
update.
begin.
So yeah, how have you been?
Pretty good. I just purchased a beautiful ebony finished Gibson SG standard guitar.
Oh yeah, those guitars. Yeah.
Man, that sounds amazing through my Marshall DSL-40 CR tube amp.
Oh my god.
I tell you what, that's pretty good.
Your obsession with guitars is
Hey,
just.
we're all
right.
obsessed with something. What else? Working on restoring my Miss Pac-Man Cabaret and got some wood grain side artwork in. Next time
thing
it
we-
comes to Atlanta, it'll look a lot like it's new.
The thing we took to the
Yes, that one.
the Southern Fried Gaming Expo.
You got it.
Yep. I mean, there's going to be an actual review for a lot of that stuff coming pretty soon, hopefully, maybe.
That's
But,
right.
Yeah,
That is right.
that is
and
right.
lastly, I'm also an upcoming project is my high-speed pinball machine, which I will be reviewing later in this episode, and it is going to be repainted here soon. Slim, what have you got going on?
Well, I've just been relaxing just for the fact that I don't have to hear the Gibson anymore. Thank
Oh,
God.
thanks.
My gosh, he plays it all the time.
Well, you didn't
He played
hear
it
the
all the
Gibson,
time.
you heard the Epiphone.
Well, I heard a guitar
And
being
a
played
Schecter.
all the time. You know, there's these things that we roommates kind of happen. Okay, we enjoy living together. However, there is just one.
There are
always just
like
one
pet
thing.
peeves.
There's always pet peeves that come with being roommates.
Yeah, that
and
is
that
accurate.
is- with me, it's always this stupid guitar. It always plays, and I guess with you, it's the YouTube videos that I always.
No, it's eating on the couch,
Oh,
probably.
eating on the couch.
No, that one takes the cake.
guess
that like tub of
Never-
cheese puffs.
which are still, which are still quenching my hunger
no.
even to this.
Oh no, not the puffs.
The puffs.
Not the puffs.
The puffs are
Not
still
the
here.
puffs. Ah, the puffs. The cheese. Ah, said Cage.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. It's just I've never
It's
never liked eating at the table.
Neither does my sister.
The hard chair. You can't relax in it. I gotta lay down. Just relax and lay out.
Because of the TV watching, I think.
It's
is part
also
of it.
it's also that the TV watching.
That's yep.
TV watching has a big
Rachel
impact too.
Hendricks is identical in that aspect. Cooks that pasta, takes it right past the table.
Eats on the couch.
Now she's got a spot on the recliner.
Oh, she's
That-
got a recliner.
Yeah,
She's got a lazy
it's
boy?
her spot.
I want a lazy boy now. Come on.
It's her spot, but I'll sit in it anyway because
that's
it's
fine.
a public chair. for the family.
Yeah, I mean, my entire family pretty much never eats on the table, so
Little slam.
we
Wow.
we go all over the place, take the food, just go wherever. I guess
Ah, I see. I
guess
see.
where that comes from. I guess that's where it comes from, but I don't know.
Yeah, if you
Whatever.
grow up doing it, it becomes habitual.
Oh, I didn't grow up doing it. I fairly recently started doing it,
Well-
like maybe a couple years before
D
today.
D D D D D beep. What's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. It's just I always grew up just eating on the cold hard chair, and I hated it. I guess
Well,
that's
do you not have clothes on?
But yeah, I guess.
Well,
but
good.
It's just always on the cold hard chair, even through the clothes. It's just
Then-
cold and hard. I can't
Okay.
lay back. I can't relax. It's just
I like having the back support.
it's so hard. I can't eat.
For me, it's the back support.
I guess I get
My
No.
back gets stiff if I don't sit in that kind of chair.
if I don't get like if I don't eat if I eat on like the table now, it's just whenever I do, I get kind of like these stomach cramps, I guess now. I don't know why. It's so weird, and it's not what's supposed to happen, but yet here we are. But I don't know, whatever. So on with the news, I guess. Some news going on. E3. What
Yes,
do you think of
E3. Well, unfortunately, due to work and personal projects, I didn't get to watch E3 much, but
Oh, I watched E3.
I bet you did.
E3 sucked.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there was some
It
games.
looks crowded.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Comic-Con for video gamers.
Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy seeing that in person. It just,
Yeah.
it's not practical. You can't see much. You gotta push through hipsters and
Plus the I've recently found out that the release dates for many of the games, they're not reliable. So I mean,
yeah, sometimes software bugs happen. Gotta tweak it.
there are a lot of video
Yeah.
games that I'm really excited for. Some of which I did trailer reviews for that are on this
Right,
channel.
right. And the biggest one for me was the new Super Smash Brothers.
Oh gosh.
As a longtime Nintendo fanboy, I always loved some Super Smash Brothers. I tell you what, man.
Well, I do enjoy some Smash Brothers every once in a while, but here's the thing: this new Smash Brothers it's literally the same game. There's nothing new. It's just
The difference is it's not on the crappy Wii U.
yeah.
That's
but-
the big difference. And it
It's on
means
the-
a lot for a lot of people.
yeah. It's on the Nintendo Switch, but there's no really new characters.
I
Like,
think there's
There's the
few.
Wii Fitness trainer. Wii Fitness trainer.
Wii Fit is on the Switch.
No, Wii
Oh.
Fitness trainer is
Switch
in,
Fit?
is in the Smash Brothers.
What?
Yes.
That's a character?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
I
a
gotta
charac-
get this.
That's a character in the game.
The Wii Fit balance board?
No, this
Oh,
is the
oh.
fitness trainer. That's the character in the thing.
I didn't know that. I'm looking that up later.
The Splatoon
Oh,
people.
really?
That's like the real.
Them too?
Those are like the only new characters.
The Wii Fitness trainer.
Yeah, because they don't have new characters. There are no new characters.
Oh, that's hilarious.
for this game.
That is the best character ever so far.
Oh my gosh, there's like Mii's. There are Mii's in this thing too.
I think that came out before, though.
Oh, there are Mii's in the other one.
Maybe.
I don't even remember, but I don't get it. It's like it's not even your Mii. It's like some random Mii's.
I can't remember if Brawl had that or not. I don't remember. I don't think it did. The newest one I've had is Brawl, and after that haven't bought a new Nintendo console since the 3DS. I do not have a Wii U or a Switch. Got just about all the rest of the Nintendo consoles, minus the really, really early Pong console prehistoric things that no one even really knows about half the time.
Well, I have the Switch. The Switch is pretty fun.
Yep, slamming a Switch. Got a photo of it with the caption.
You do. Yeah, you do. It is really fun. I mean, you get the Super Mario Odyssey, which I finally finished. Thank God. It was a miracle.
I remember that one.
That one was a great game.
Great times in that chair, huh?
Every time I played it, it was just like, I gotta get to the end, I gotta get to the end. It's like, it's not like, I'm also playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and
We know many
Zelda-
people love it.
many
And
people
it's a
love
great
it.
game, I'm sure. I've never
It's-
played it, actually.
It's an okay game. I mean, one of the things with these expanded world type things is just like, there's not really a true end. You can like do whatever you want, pretty much. There's just like this, like, all these great things you can do.
There are like main objectives you complete, but you gotta
It's not like a main central.
seek it out. It's not like a set path.
It's not like, yeah, there's no set path, which is the one game I'm excited for me, E3, was The Last of Us Part 2.
Alright.
I love The Last of Us.
Really?
The Last of Us is probably one of my favorite non-Nintendo games. Like actual real non-franchise games, I guess.
Huh.
And people are just going all up in arms about how, oh my gosh, the main character kissed another girl. I mean, what the heck? She's gay? She's gay? But it's always implied in the game, like the first game, that she was. So what the hell?
Yeah.
People are just going up in arms just like she's gay, but it was always implied.
What I'm reading here says, let queer characters be happy.
Yeah, so she's always been gay. So
How The
shut
Last
up.
of Us 2 pushes realism to the next level.
I don't know, but anyway,
It does
I don't-
have multiplayer.
it does. I don't know about like
Oh, God.
the main story, whether or not they're still fighting zombies or whatever, but I mean, from the gameplay trailer that I've seen, which that's pretty much the only thing I've really looked up or seen or whatever, is it looks like she's taking down like an organization now or something like that.
Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 it seems to remind me of
The Walking Dead
that kind of
it reminds me of The Walking
it's
Dead.
almost like a maybe a combination of Left 4 Dead and there's one that the Uncharted series maybe.
Oh yeah.
Seems like it combines both of those into one in a way.
It's really realistic
It's
too.
got the zombie apocalyptic nature of Left 4 Dead.
It's very realistic too.
Yes.
It's not like,
It's
you
pretty
know,
dope.
it's not like
Pretty dope.
it's not like a Doom type of thing, which is oh my god,
Sci-fi.
I can't get into Doom.
Why not?
Doom is just I don't
The
understand.
Doom one?
All of them. I just can't get into
You
Doom.
played the old Doom from the 90s?
Yes, I
When
have.
did you play that?
When you weren't around, when I moved out, I got like the game Doom.
Oh,
I
really?
played it on the PC.
Oh, cool.
I don't get it. It's just I
Oh,
never. I
are you
can't-
confused?
I'm not confused. I can't get into it. It's just like it looks like hell.
That's
I
the
never,
idea. It's supposed to be the demons from hell.
I never.
You're right.
I never got into like these types of like hell type things like Spawn. Like there's a superhero called Spawn, which is like the literal like the helper of the devil or whatever. It's like a comic. I never got into Spawn. I never got into Hellboy either, which is this other thing. But I never got into Doom. I just I don't understand the fascination with
The
like hell.
fascination, it's not, for me, it's not about the theme of it, it's about the gameplay. And it's a great playing game, and it's kind of linear. There's a lot of cool little secrets in there, and the music is, it never gets old.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean,
I like some Doom.
There's like this new trailer that came out in E3 about this new Doom.
Oh yeah, the one,
Thing.
the VR one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Like
was
this thing came
reading
out
about
and-
that.
it's I don't get it. I don't get the fascination with it.
It's fun.
I don't get it.
Okay, you don't get it. That's fine.
I tried so
Thank
hard.
you for trying.
I tried so hard. I just can't get
Thanks
into
for
it.
trying. Now
You're
it's
welcome.
time to trade it in.
I guess so. I mean,
Might as well.
Might as well just go to Wizards and just
Say, here you go.
trade it up, get a better game that just never.
It's not a bad game, just not for you.
It's not for me. Whatever. Better game for me. Fine. Whatever.
That's better.
Yeah. So anyway, on to some movie news. Now I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this. I want to get your opinion about it because you probably haven't heard about this.
All right.
Disney is trying to buy 20th Century Fox. Now,
I think you told me this.
maybe, but I'm
I
going to
know
give you the
you
full
have
scope.
actually. Well, I think at least 3 times.
I'm going to give you the full scope. Now,
Sure.
20th Century Fox, I guess, has $13 billion in debt.
Rip. That sounds like Gibson.
And they are, I mean, as far as I know, I've never heard of any, problems, I guess, but I guess Disney made them an offer. And Comcast also tried to offer them, and I don't really know which one started it, but Disney, the first bid that I've ever heard from any of this, Disney offered $50 billion, I guess.
So why are they in debt in the first place?
I don't know. I guess there's been some movies that have come out that 20th Century Fox has made that haven't made a lot of money, and also
I guess.
also with the purchase of Lucasfilm and Star Wars and all that.
That
I
was
mean,
a
that's
big
kind
one
of-
for them.
That was a big one for Disney, and 20th Century Fox has been kind of a.
Oh, I get it. Star Wars.
Also,
I see a connection there.
Also, with Avatar, James Cameron's been sinking in all this money for all these Avatar sequels, and they haven't been released. So it's just all this stuff they've been doing, haven't really been going all that
Probably funding
profitable.
issues and all that good stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, Disney offered 50 billion or whatever, and then Comcast. Here's another thing: Bob Iger is the CEO of Disney and the CEO of Comcast. Both of them hate each other. Both of them hate each other. The CEO of Comcast and the CEO of Disney, they both despise each other. Comcast offered maybe a $65 billion all in cash deal to buy 20th Century Fox. And then Disney came back and then Comcast came back and all this stuff. Now Disney finally has the upper hand with a $71.3 billion payout for 20th Century Fox. And this still has to go through the government because if the government says no, it's like a monopoly, then Disney can't do it.
Donald is like, this is not worthy of a small load of a few $1 billion. And
It's not even that, it's
gonna
the
be
Supreme Court.
Even
Donald-
though I don't
Donald's
know
not
why
even-
Donald would give him a loan of anything.
Donald wouldn't
He'd
even
just
give him
have
a
to.
loan. Donald wouldn't even give him a loan. It's like the Supreme
Realistically,
Court.
he'd just be like, yeah, it's bad. It's huge, like China, one or the other.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Donald.
Supreme Court would
Supreme
have
Court
to
would do
rule it
Yeah, so
ultimately.
Supreme Court has to rule on it, I guess.
Well, you want
And-
my opinion on this?
Well, hold on, I'm not done yet.
Well, okay,
And the
fine.
thing is, it's topped with 71.3, and that's almost half of what Disney is worth.
Right.
And Disney was trying to buy stocks back, buy its own company back. Now they can't. If this deal goes through. Comcast is offering to maybe give a deal for $79 billion.
Huh.
So it's just going back and forth now, and people are the companies are just there's a certain point where they're just okay, how much is too much? So what is your opinion on this? What do you think?
Well, I think the biggest thing I've noticed from what you've said is that there's a connection here with Star Wars in particular. I think
To an extent.
Disney's trying to bribe 20th Century Fox into getting them to agree to the deal with the intention of, pairing 20th Century Fox and Star Wars back together again.
Well, not really. They were
No, well, that would be something I would be pushing.
Well,
but fine.
20th Century Fox was a distributor, and it still owns.
Yeah.
It still owns the first Star Wars, like A New Hope. It still has the distribution rights for that movie.
Just the first one, A New Hope. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
There's like this. It's like deals and all that. Like George pretty much owned like the sequels and all that, and like TV shows and whatever.
Yeah.
But 20th Century Fox owns like the first Star Wars. And it also owns the X-Men. Now, those things apparently are just very like added on deals, but they're not like the main goals.
Then what's the main goal?
The main goal is to like get more money. Like they can make whatever movie they want. They can make rated R movies with 20th Century Fox and get into that. They have the Alien franchise.
Disney wants to expand into
they want to expand into other
possibilities.
Things. They got a major like
Can they not
channel with Fox TV.
So Disney owns if Disney buys Fox. Oh wait. I remember we talked about this. They're not going to get Fox News. That's right.
Yeah, they aren't going to get Fox News or Fox Sports.
That would change one of the most conservative news channels to liberal as well.
Well, not really.
And that would suck.
Well, not really, because the reason why they can't buy Fox Sports or Fox News.
Well, that's not the reason why. I'm just saying that would be an outcome.
Well, yeah, they can't buy either of those because Disney owns ESPN,
right?
And I think another news channel,
News,
ABC
probably.
News, yeah, and they can't coexist.
That would just be kind of pointless. It'd be almost as pointless as Chevy and GMC trucks being almost identical.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on this? What is your opinion on all this? Should they do it? Should they not do it? What do you think?
If both parties find benefit financially from it, then I say go for it. I mean, if Disney keeps 20th Century Fox as a brand, then that'd be better. If the company's in debt, then, being bought out like this can save them from having to go through the bankruptcy process, aka Gibson Guitars, and aka Toys R Us.
Yeah, which are probably going to happen. Which is a good lead into probably Gibson, like this new news about Gibson.
Yes.
And personally, my opinion about it is there's a point where they just gotta like stop and clear cut. Like it's gonna be too much. This is gonna be too much for 20th Century Fox. But anyway, on to Gibson. Tell us about Gibson going out of business.
Sure. Well, the thing is, Gibson makes excellent guitars, and they still do. And they make great guitars even under the Epiphone brand. Epiphones have come a very long way from what they used to be, and I think the reason that they went under was because not many like popular songs use electric guitars anymore. If you think about it, like you turn on Hits 1 on Sirius XM satellite radio, it's all and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, let's not sing anymore because we might get a copyright.
Yeah,
God forbid.
That's how generic that sounded.
Yes.
So that was funny. I need to remember that. Okay. Oh, that was good.
Twas.
I gotta recollect myself here after that. That was funny.
So how many
All right.
guitar companies are there out there?
We got
What would effect would Gibson going out of business mean for the guitar industry?
the industry itself wouldn't suffer, I don't think, directly because, well, if anything, the other companies would start getting a lot more business because Gibson actually has a big chunk of the market because, the Les Paul and the SG, the Flying V, the Explorer, the Gibson acoustics, everyone loves them, especially the Les Paul and the SG. Like,
So then
I got an SG. I mean, they're built well. They're great quality instruments. They sound amazing. Everyone's like hard rock idols play them. AC/DC's got that. Gibson SG. We got Slash with the Les Paul.
so then
It's good stuff.
so we could say that Gibson is pretty much I don't know,
Top dog, I guess.
like a pretty high hitter in the guitar
Yeah,
industry.
Gibson and Fender are the two big ones. It's
So,
mainly because they've been around a lot longer than some of these other companies. And, these other companies make excellent guitars too. They're just, not as well known or like legendary.
So you're saying that if guitars were a fast food industry, then Gibson would be the McDonald's. Then where would it be? McDonald's
If-
or what?
Yeah. Well,
Like who would be the McDonald's then for guitars?
well, in what way? You mean like McDonald's being the most famous or?
Yeah, McDonald's is like the most famous, and everyone goes to McDonald's, and McDonald's is like all over the place.
I guess it would be Gibson, and Burger King would probably be Fender.
Oh, I got you.
Because they're both, or it could be the other way around, they're about equally popular in my opinion. Just depends on what kind of music you like.
So why were they going out of business again? Like,
So let
what-
me
is it, like,
let me
different?
finish what I was saying on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Spade. We got another big thing aside from the lack of electric guitar use in professional stuff these days is, and this is why I think Fender hasn't suffered quite as much. And it's for a while there, Gibson instruments were having an issue with staying tuned properly, and they weren't staying in tune, and people returned them because of that. That plus headstocks break off easily, and that's a $300 repair in itself. Ask me how I know. I did that with my Epiphone Les Paul. That sucked.
So they're cheaply made then.
Well, no, they're not. It's just
They're just really
it's
fragile.
the design. Yeah, fragile is a better way to look at it.
All right, I got you.
It's the angle that the headstock's pointed.
So
That's
if,
what it is.
so if Gibson goes down, then
Well, I guess he already
like a
kind of
huge-
went down, but they're coming back up.
oh,
They're
Gibson's coming back
recovering.
up.
They
They're
did
recovering?
file for bankruptcy, but they're not going out of business. They're
Oh, all right.
restructuring, reorganizing with Chapter 11.
Okay. Okay.
They're gonna keep going. They're gonna stay strong, do what they can. I love Gibson. Their website's still up, and hell, if you didn't read the news about it, you wouldn't think that they went under. And the thing about Fender that keeps them around is, the fact that their guitars tend to be a lot cheaper. You get a better quality guitar for a better price. And, the thing for me is I would buy a Fender because they're made better. They're more ergonomic, easier to play. But the reason I go with the Gibsons is for the tone. And that really is what it's all about for me. But, in the end, I think Gibson is going to do fine, and they will keep going on. That's all I got for that.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that Guitars McDonald's will still be around. Not so much I could say for the milestone in many kids' lives. Toys
Well,
R Us.
this article you got here might be stating otherwise.
Well, yeah, I'm just reading it right now, but how? Yeah, I read an article right here, and yeah. So here's the deal. Actually today I went to Toys R Us.
Did you really?
Yes, and I went to Babies R Us too. It's like a joint type of thing. It's
Which
like
one?
The one over by the Mall of Georgia.
Oh, okay.
It's like the one in Buford.
The new one, yeah.
Or
Well,
the
one that
newer
was
one.
built the most recently and lasted the shortest amount of time.
Or at least around here. But yeah, so Toys R Us is going out of business.
Yes.
I plan on making a video about it. I don't want to say a lot too much because I want to say as much as I can for the review and the video. So I won't go into too much, but apparently the CEO blames people for not having many babies.
What?
Yeah, apparently there's like a decline in babies being born. So that's why Babies R Us, especially Babies R Us and Toys R Us, are going out of business.
I kind of
because
thought it was more about
I thought it was more about
online shopping dominated that
yeah,
segment.
I would assume so too. But no, he blames the babies not being born, but whatever.
That's interesting.
yeah, but anyway.
Could be. It's probably both.
Yeah, we'll get into it further when we hopefully when we do the video or whatever. But
Right. Of course.
Toys R Us is going out of business. It's the last 2 days. I actually went there today.
What did it look like?
Oh my god.
Was
oh
it
my
just
god.
barely anything left?
You know what?
All the going out of business signs all over the place.
We'll detail it further in the video, like I said. But,
Sure.
I will say this: Babies R Us was completely abandoned. There was absolutely nothing. There was absolutely nothing in that store. Toys R Us had all the crap that no one wants. All the crap that no one wants. Pretty much that was it for Toys R Us. All the gaming consoles, that was completely gone. Everything was good was gone. I got the last gift card that they had. Apparently every gift card was sold out. They threw them all out. But I got the last gift card that someone hid underneath a register. And it's already been used. I think it's more like a gift certificate instead of an actual gift card, but it says gift card on the thing, so. I got the last one. I bought a Disney Infinity Perry, clear Perry thing that's a Toys R Us exclusive. And it's not going to help anymore because Disney Infinity's gone along with Toys R Us.
Oh, man.
But Toys R Us has been a staple in many kids' lives.
It was definitely in mine.
And we are in the final days. And I'm glad that I was able to get as much as I could out of it before it left. Unlike Blockbuster, 'cause when Blockbuster ended, I wanted to get a Blockbuster card so bad.
I remember when that happened. I bought the last store in our town that shut down. I bought one of their price sticker guns from them for $10.
I wanted to get a Blockbuster card so bad, and now pretty much every Blockbuster, even independent Blockbusters, are going under now. And there's the one that I thought was still around in Indiana. I think that one was shut down too, and I was so disappointed.
That's unfortunate.
I was so disappointed because I went up there. I went up to Michigan, and it was I was pretty close to Indiana, like right around where that was, the Blockbuster was still around, and it wasn't. I figured out it wasn't. It was probably never gonna open again, and I was just super mad about that. I will never ever get a Blockbuster card in my name now. It's a shame. But I do have a Toys R Us gift card now. I will always treasure that. Always keep it in my wallet. It's gonna be in my wallet forever and ever. Amen. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. You made us very well. I will do a review / documentary about Toys R Us in the upcoming days, hopefully.
Excellent news, mate.
Indeed. So now here comes the review section, where we review movies / pinball / whatever we want, I guess. And the Hendrive has pulled out the short end of the straw, and he's going to go first with his pinball machine that we both have played.
Yes.
So here's the section of the review we're going to do. So we're still testing the waters here. So we're going to do.
Yes, we are.
We're going to do one thing from each of our respective fields that we both have either watched or played, and then review those. And then we're going to do something that we haven't reviewed / played
You mean watched?
or watched. Reviewed / played or watched, and we're going to review them and get each other's interpretations of it. So, for the Hendrive, what do we have today, good sir?
Well, we have my Williams high-speed pinball machine.
Which we're going to do a formal review of, but let's get a review from the Hendrive himself.
Let's get a more podcast-friendly review here.
Yes.
This is, in a way, the first pinball machine I ever played in my entire life. But
Tell
not
us more
quite.
Tell us more about this.
So, the sequel to this game is The Getaway, and High Speed 2 The Getaway was indeed the first pinball machine I ever played. And at the time I purchased my High Speed, I couldn't afford to get The Getaway. I could now, but back then, no. Sorry.
It's getting a little emotional for him.
I just had to swallow my saliva, I guess. Fun fact. Yeah. Exactly. So, we have... This game is made by my favorite pinball machine designer of all time, and that is... Steve Ritchie.
Steve Ritchie.
Whom we met.
Whom we have in the SFGE review that's coming pretty soon. I'm gonna stop. I'm thinking about gonna stop promoting all the other material that's on this channel. We're just Steve. Steve was a character.
He's a cool guy, and as we found out over the weekend, he likes to drink.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Apparently, he gives drunk speeches.
I would never imagine the man himself, Steve, to be a drunk star.
I could picture him like that. From talking to him directly,
I couldn't.
myself.
He just seemed like an old man.
Well, you didn't really talk to him directly.
I was in his presence.
You were,
I
but...
could talk. I could make assumptions. I wouldn't think he would be a drunk.
I kind of picked up on that.
He was like an old,
The way he...
deaf grandpa.
His sense of humor made me think he probably had a wild side to him. And he does. I'm glad that he's a wild designer. That's great.
Yes.
No wonder when he's known as the King of Flow, which is the case in High Speed. Not
Yes.
The Flow by Dane Bacon, but...
The Flow by Steve Ritchie. Now,
Yes.
on to High Speed. Tell us about High Speed.
Yes.
Which I have played. Let's play it.
So, speaking of the flow, you got all kinds of flow in this game. Man, oh man. Rednecked it up for us. We got some ramps. We got a little circular shot in the back. We got another good flowing shot to a capture hole. Oh man, what a... Sorry about that, had to yawn. Have a...
Man, this just seems really boring now.
Never. Have a great
Have
game.
some respect for the pinball community.
You got it. Have a wonderful, wonderful soundtrack in this game as well. The music in this game is off the chain. It is some of the best. It's got this badass, like, late 80s rock rap kind of sound to it. Especially when you get into the multi-ball, it's like da 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 and so forth. It's epic.
I will say this, when I play it, the many times I go over to your house, whenever I play it, it's like, there have been worse car pinball machines that I have played, that I have played and sucked, but it's
Let me guess,
actually
it
pretty-
played it. Oh, thank God.
It's yes. I actually do enjoy a little bit of it. I
A
always
little
found,
bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take what I get here.
Yeah, take what you get. I mean, I always thought like the guy on the left of the art, like the cover art, I guess.
Oh, on the back glass.
Yeah, the back glass. The guy on the left of the back glass. I always thought he was Abraham Lincoln. Like he looks like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't he? Yeah, we're looking at a picture of it as we speak here, and yes.
Yes. Really,
Fun fact: Steve Ritchie is one of the voices of the cops. He's not the. There's two cops. One of them's like, dispatch 504, suspect when I relay over. Then the other one says, 504, this is dispatch. Something like that. Apprehend him.
Do we know
Yeah.
which one is which?
Steve Ritchie says, dispatch is 504.
No. Do we know
Apprehend him.
which one's which on
Oh.
the pinball machine itself? On the back glass. Do we know which one it is, or is it just up
Well-
to interpretation?
I'm guessing the one on the right is the Irish salesman. I thought that was hilarious. Playing it after the show back in my house, he does kind of sound Irish. Like I can hear the Irish tonality in the voice.
So,
It's like 504.
so
Something like that.
Lefty, the Abraham Lincoln imposter, is not Steve. Is the other
No,
guy?
the guy on the left is not voiced, I guess. He's just driving the car. The guy on the right's using the CB radio, and then the guy that Steve Ritchie plays is technically at the station,
Oh, okay. So Abraham Lincoln doesn't speak.
Nah, Trooper Abraham Lincoln, because they have state trooper hats on.
They're state troopers.
They might be. I got pulled over by one. That sucked.
Yeah, that's a dark turn. But
Yes.
anyway, this game, I mean, it's got bright colors.
It does.
It's got more than just red and black, which is good, and orange.
It's got yellow and white.
It looks like an actual street. It looks like streets. It kind of reminds me of Spaghetti Junction too. Like
A little
the
bit,
inside
yeah.
of it.
And the spinner decals are actually like street signs for like California or something. It's like Santa Monica or something was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, the design work is just, it looks like I don't know why, but I just think like,
It's a
Specifically-
beautiful machine.
specifically car machines, like car pinball machines.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I just don't feel the same amount of love and just, I don't know.
Because it's cars and not sci-fi. I
No,
mean, why
no,
else?
No, it's not that. It's
Think,
like,
do you
there's
know
other-
yourself, Slam?
There's other pinball machines where there's sci-fi that I don't feel the love.
But you
put
feel
into
more
it.
love it.
I feel love was put into this.
I'm glad.
Like a lot more than a lot of other car pinball machines.
How
that
about
have-
pinball machines in general? How does it compare there?
other pinball machines?
Just car and non-car themed pinball machines.
I mean, I would say it's probably I haven't played a whole lot of pinball machines, as you know. So probably played like, I don't know, 20 in my lifetime.
The most you played is at the show this
Yeah.
past year, probably.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I played like 20 pinball machines in my entire life.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like, I don't know, 10, maybe 11, something like that. If I had to
Okay.
rank them. But
That's a fair rating. It's a good. It's not the best game in the world, but for the money, it's a great game. I love mine, and I think it's definitely one of the better machines released over the years.
Indeed.
It's
Indeed.
simple to follow. The rules are straightforward. Great music. An Irish salesman and Steve are in there.
It is the best
It was
cart
it was
machine
the
I've
first
ever played.
System 11 for those of you pinball geeks like me. I'm sure you probably already knew that, but yeah, very first System 11 machine. First game to have a continuous musical soundtrack in it.
So,
Every pinball machine before High Speed didn't have like an actual musical soundtrack to it.
so they just stopped, or they didn't have any music?
You know what firepower sounds like? It's
Yeah.
like firepower. That's what it sounds like all the time.
Yeah.
That's
I
not really
know.
music.
That's not. Oh, well. This one has actually an actual orchestra.
It's actually not an orchestra, but like it's got like more.
better music.
It's
I guess.
music that's like composed.
Music that is actually written.
Yeah, it's not like Black Hole had music, but
Man,
I guess you can call that music.
that sounds like an annoyance.
It made the bass in that game was like it's pretty cool. But yeah, first game with actual music in it. Like
Yeah.
legit music.
I mean, yeah. I don't really remember the music. I just remember just trying to keep the ball and up
It's
into
like
the thing and just keep it in there. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why, but whenever I play pinball machines, it's just never I never really listen to the music all that much. I'm just really trying to get the ball into the thing, I guess, which I guess maybe a lot of people just don't really listen to the music, like really hardcore pinball enthusiasts probably do. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, overall it's one of the better car pinball machine games. I thoroughly enjoy it, and
I think the reason you don't listen to the music was because it's so loud in that room that you can't really hear it.
oh, that's also true, but still.
When you play it and there's nothing else in the background, you actually get more immersed in it, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, dead ass.
So yeah, High Speed is a great game. If you get a
It's a
chance to
brilliant
play one, go play it. They
Yeah.
also have a Nintendo Entertainment System version.
Oh yeah, wait, they have an NES version?
Yeah, of High Speed and Pinbot.
Is it is like an actual game, or is it like a pinball?
It's a Nintendo Entertainment System version of the pinball machine.
So you're playing like pinball on the NES?
Yeah,
Well, dead ass.
you're playing High Speed, the pinball machine on the NES.
Dead ass boneless. Heck yeah.
I think Pinbot was done better, but High
Yeah.
Speed was pretty good too. They
Yeah.
even got some voices in it. It sounds really grainy, and it's like, and it's crap, but you can tell what it's supposed to be.
Was that Steve?
And that's the Irish guy.
No, that's the other guy.
The last thing I'm gonna say is this game's also on Farsight's The Pinball Arcade, and
Oh, that app? That's getting Williams
yeah.
out? Yeah, it's taking the Williams out?
Yeah, so for those of you
Back
into
to the
this,
news. Back
yes,
to the
I should have
news.
said this earlier, but I'm going to say it now because it's important. You have until June the 30th if this is released before then, and you got to get any Williams or Bally pinball tables that you want from the app by then, because after that, you can't buy them anymore. They're just going to be
Yeah,
gone.
Their data's gone.
If you delete your account and lose all that stuff, then you're not getting them back probably.
Yeah, well, their data's gone.
So,
Gone forever.
not necessarily. If you can find a copy of it in its like CD format for PS4 or Xbox One, you'll get the Williams and Valley tables from it.
All right, well, dead ass.
But I don't know if high speed's in that or not. But just make sure that you get the ones you want, because they're gonna be gone soon. And if you already have it,
Warning.
just don't delete it.
This has been your warning. Get it now. Spend all your money.
Yes.
Spend as much money as possible.
Hell yeah.
Get it now. All right, but
That
anyway,
is all I have for high speed.
High Speed is actually a pretty good game. I mean, it is the better of the car pinball
You
machines.
can thank Steve.
Thank you, Steve, in all your glory, in all your hearing aid gloriness.
Hey,
Hey,
pour another one for Steve because
Hey,
he drinks.
he took a beating for the pinball and arcade.
A beating, huh?
Yeah, he came out. He took a fight. He lost his ears, but it was worth it for the pinball community.
I don't know if he lost his ears because of pinball, but I think he's got some kind of hearing disorder that just happens somehow genetically or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right then. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for all your gloriness
Indeed.
and High Speed.
Keep making good games.
Well,
That's
yeah,
CERN.
that was a pretty boneless first review
Thank
from
you.
this podcast. Oh,
What's the number 2 review?
Slim, this is
take it away.
Well, here we go. This is the movie review that is probably going to tank us on this podcast.
AKA, we're gonna be here a while.
No, this is the movie that's going to jinx it. The Cobbler by Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
the
gosh.
Cobbler. Oh man,
This is so
this
awful.
is so bad. It's
Oh
awesome.
my god.
This is the best Sandler
Oh,
film I've
no.
seen yet.
Oh my
because
God.
it's so bad.
It is so terrible.
You can pretty
No.
much call it Super Sandler.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
It's
so
Adam Sandler's
let's hold on
superhero
because
movie.
people don't know and they will get mad if you tell spoilers.
That's
so,
not really spoiling anything. It's
Well,
just,
it kind of is.
No, it's just what it's about.
So here it is in its entirety. The first, like, this is a movie that's probably been saved in like the last 10 minutes. Like the last 10, before the last 10 minutes, I was just like, oh my gosh, this movie's so boring. This movie is just.
I laughed a lot the whole time.
The-
Could have been a blood sugar thing. You never know.
No, I just remember it. I remember it. I remember the whole plot of it. It's just like Adam Sandler he's a cobbler. That's the name, the cobbler.
Of
He
a
makes-
Jewish family, of course.
Of course. I mean, why would it be anybody else? But it's this. His father was a cobbler, I guess, and oh my gosh,
They have
he's
antique.
he's like in a
Machine.
mini mall or something in like
he's just
New York
on
City.
He's just off the street there.
Yeah, he's like in Brooklyn or something. It's like this little dead end like cobbler where you repair shoes. He likes this extremely hot younger girl, of course.
That is a Sandler trait.
That is a Sandler trait. You always gotta have that thing.
Always gotta have it on my
Every-
dick. Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I swear,
about. My
it's-
dick, my dick, my dick.
I swear, it's
Sandler's
like-
dick.
Every movie, it's like every Sandler trope in every Sandler movie is in this movie. It's just
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just told in a very boring ass way.
It was kind of boring. It did have some points where I laughed really hard.
Yeah, there were some little points. It was very few and far between for me.
The one penis joke Sandler made in this one,
It's the quintessential penis joke. It's
he
where
just
he's
he,
like
he turned into
he turned into the black guy, and it's black. I was like,
no.
I was-
I don't think it was him.
No, he turned into
He
the black
turned
guy.
into the hot woman,
No.
and he looked to see if he had a vagina. That's what I thought it was.
Oh yeah.
He
I
turned
think
into
it
the
was.
black guy
He
and
turned into the black guy. That was
took
kinda
advantage of that. It scared the shit out of the real black guy.
Yeah,
It's like me. Oh, lock your ass up, man. You know, it's funny.
I mean, he wanted to make a
no, not being racist though.
no,
It was
not being
just for
racist.
fun.
Not being racist, even though Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider, Rob Schneider's he takes it way too far. With,
You know who else makes an appearance?
Rob, I don't remember Rob making an appearance, which is a
You know-
benefit for this movie.
Yes, but Steve made it.
Steve Buscemi is in this. Of course, a staple. He's got to have all
You
of
know-
his friends.
you know
the Sandler cast.
The deranged man from Con Air himself.
Yeah, I mean, holy crap! It's just, it is. I guess one of the criticisms that Sandler took into effect for his movies was they were just so bizarre and they just weren't realistic. He made he made more realistic, but it was just wasn't. It was boring. It wasn't so bad. It was hilarious. It was just so bad that it was bad.
He
And
can
I
only
don't-
do the stupid kind of humor, really.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just, it's so stupid and so boring that it's just not good. Except for the last 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes are actually where it's at. And if you don't want to be spoiled, which why would you want to be spoiled with this movie? Just, I guess, click away now. Wait for like, I guess, 5 minutes, because this won't take too long, I guess. Or 5 to 10 minutes, just...
Or just scrub to the part where it's past it.
Yeah, I guess. So, it turns out that he's a superhero, and all
Steve
these...
Buscemi is his dad.
Actually,
in
his...
disguise.
Yeah, he's his father. Steve Buscemi's his father in disguise, and he, apparently... There's this whole, like, superhero, like, people, like, kind of like Batman, where it's just, like, they can transform into anybody and influence the world and all that. It was so it was so stupid. I mean, what the heck? This came out of nowhere. That's where I just, like, balls to the wall just laughed, because it was just so stupid.
Another part that was funny was he tried to smash the hot model in the shower.
Oh, yeah. He
but
tried
he
to
couldn't
rape.
take the shoes off. So he's getting undressed and he had to keep the shoes on. It's like, my dick. Can't use my dick.
I can't use my neck. What the heck? Oh,
You
man.
know, I'm talking over here and I can't use my dick.
Overall, it was just... but those are
yeah.
those are the only funny parts. Everything else is just so boring and so poorly written. So poorly directed, too. I mean, I saw potential. I saw potential for it to actually be good. I saw potential for it to change. Because actually, there was some change to the Sandler formula. Because he didn't end up with the hot woman. He actually ended up with the not so hot
Oh
woman.
yeah, the hipster.
Yeah, he kind of liked the hipster, which is kind of weird because he's like 50 and she's like, I don't know, 23 or something. But
No, that's how
he
he likes them.
That's how he likes them. I mean,
Like-
he's like,
If I were a girl and I met
I'm
Sandler,
immortal.
he'd be like, yeah, can I rub my dick on that? And I'd be like,
he's
yeah, because you're
he's
rich.
he's just immortal.
And, yeah.
He's immortal. He's just like all these younger women. Oh man, but anyway, this movie sucks. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. I would just like. There's nothing really else to really say about it. He's got a beard. There's more of a dramatic turn to it. I mean, there's not really all that comedic elements to it. It's just boring. Adam doesn't really like a dramedy. He doesn't really do dramedies all that well. Drama/comedy.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do it all that well. It's just.
Not really.
It's just boring and sucks. And I don't... Except for the last 10 minutes, which kind of made it so bad it's good, I just never really got into it. Unlike you, I guess. What do you think about it, I guess?
Super Sandler was
Super Sandler.
one of his better films, in my opinion. And that's not saying much, but if you look at some of the other stuff he comes out with, it's awful. The stuff he comes out with needs to be like it'd be fine if it was, like a direct-to-TV thing on Adult Swim or Comedy Central maybe, but
Now it's direct to video to Netflix.
if it's theatrical release stuff, there's a certain audience for this, and it's kind of like Pixels, the
Yeah,
arcade
Pixels
game
sucks.
movie. Exactly. See, the only people that I haven't even watched it because I heard it's terrible, but
It is.
and I'm, as you know, I'm big into this kind of stuff, but only people that really, really love the arcade and pinball stuff are the ones that'll like it, and only for that, and
The
not for the
nostalgia.
plot. It's like
just-
liking Fast and Furious for the cars only, and the women. Except Fast and Furious has a good plot too.
Yes, but
But yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
I could go on and on about how terrible Pixels is and how it ruined like many stars, like Josh Gad. Josh Gad was actually a good actor, and now after Pixels, I mean, it kind of tainted his career. But anyway, I mean, he's actually made some pretty good movies. Not the best, not like Oscar worthy, but he's actually made some pretty good movies. Pretty good comedies like Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is like one of the best golf movies
Yeah,
I've
he
ever
did
seen.
well with that one. The one where he goes
Billy
back
Madison?
to school. Yeah, Billy Madison
Billy
was
Madison's
actually
a good
pretty
one.
good. The one
Big
where-
Daddy. Big Daddy's actually pretty okay too.
I like the one where he was dating the girl that had like brain problems.
Oh yeah, 50 First Dates.
Yeah, that one. That
That-
one was pretty good too.
That one was actually like, I would probably give maybe an 80% on that. Because
Yeah, is it
there's
fresh on Rotten Tomatoes?
I have to look that up, but I would assume so. Like probably, maybe, barely. Because all the critics just hate his movies. And I could understand why.
Me
But
too.
that movie, I would probably give a fresh rating on, because even though there's some things that the Sandler formula is still there, especially with Schneider being like a Hawaiian and just
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I remember.
It kind of dealt with the brain, like people who have like short-term memory loss. It dealt with that very, very well. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about The Cobbler, which has absolutely nothing to offer, except for the fact that maybe Sandler is a fairly good, like, dramatic actor, which he's already proven. He's already proven he's a great dramatic actor. Why does he go back and does all this, like, stupid crap? It's literally crap.
Yeah, I don't get it. Sandler's a weird one.
Yeah, there's so many...
He's got money though, so I
Yeah,
guess he's doing
maybe
something right.
Maybe that's why he's got it. I mean, The Waterboy, I guess, is like a guilty pleasure.
It's
But I know it's like, it's pretty bad. But I mean,
like you got stuff like Click.
it's this weird combination where it's just like his movies
Yeah.
are just have so much great potential, but it just never amounts.
So
to
maybe
the
he can direct,
potentiality.
but not act.
No, he can't direct, but he can act.
Well,
Like all the ones
yeah,
that,
no, yeah, I take that back. I said that.
and I've
reversed.
actually done some
He can
investigating.
act all right. He
Yeah.
just
I've actually done some investigating on this.
can't set the lines up properly.
I've actually done some investigating on this.
He's like me.
And where I've actually done some investigating on this, where he has, whenever he executive produced movies, more often than not, that's when it goes down the crapper.
Oh, okay.
Like when he started like executive producing his movies, that's when it just goes down the crapper. But even that 50 First Dates, that is like he executive produced it, but that kind of has like the Sandler taint to it
Yeah.
still. But and the Cobbler was one of them, I guess, that you executive produced. So I mean,
It
just
sucked,
it sucked
but
ass.
less than many of them, but still sucked.
Yeah, it sucked ass. So I mean, there's nothing really else to really talk. There's nothing really else to really talk about. So
All right,
yeah,
moving right along.
now it's time for the parts, the reviews that each of us have not seen or read or watched or whatever, the reviews that are trying to get us to go and see them. So, Hendry, since you started, why don't you take it away with yours?
Okay.
Impress me.
Sure. Now we're going to review a game that I would love to own someday. And that game is Robotron 2084. Amen. I tell you what, Robotron 2084, despite your lack of ability to understand it, was a game and still is a game that I love. I wish I could have grew up in the 80s and played it, but I didn't. Yeah, so for those of you not familiar with it, it was made by Williams, who also made High Speed that we mentioned earlier, and Williams made some arcade games as well. Were pretty good. Not as well known as like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, but they're still pretty classic. It's not as straightforward. It's more of a thing you have to figure out how it works first and then play it, because if you don't do that and you just try and walk up, it's not something you can just like figure out in a few seconds, because you get there and there's like 100 different things blinking on the screen at once. Is that not correct?
Yes, I would imagine so.
I would as well. Well, are you imagining, or
Well, I'm
what
imagining.
about what you saw in person?
I'm imagining because I didn't see it in person, but you know, it's not really all that. I don't know. I'm kind of hazy on it. I remember seeing it. I remember you playing it, but I just don't remember getting it. I'm still a little hazy on it. So just
Sure.
just get me to want to play it.
All right.
How
well,
would you get me to play it?
to get you to want to play it, sci-fi robots, evil robots, sci-fi humanoids save the last humans their space. Did that work?
Okay. What's the actual gameplay like?
Well, see, that already helped. We got... Now, realistically, the gameplay is where you're going around as like a cyborg, I guess, and you're shooting the shootable evil robots that are trying to take over the world. You can run into the last human family members. I guess it's like you save them by walking into them. I wonder how that works, but apparently that gives you bonus points. You get you got some robots that you can shoot at that it makes them like stop for while you're shooting them, but they don't ever die. Then there's like a black hole looking thing with like a psychedelic rainbow ring around it that's like flashing, and then these other things pop out of it. I don't even know what they're supposed to represent, but you gotta shoot those too, and
That kind of sounds like a
they spawn
dream.
they spawn into these other robots, the ones that go like a on firepower when you get the power targets.
This kind of sounds like some guy who took like
It
acid.
is, yeah,
and,
it is really trippy. It's a very trippy thing. That maybe it's an ADHD thing that makes me like it, because
I guess so.
so like hyper all this shit at once. It's fun. It's really like what's the word for it? It's really, man, I lost the word. I had it.
You had it, and then you lost it.
Crazy was the word I was looking for. Wow,
Crazy.
That's sad.
Oh man. Oh boy.
That's sad.
Oh boy.
I'm glad I figured that out. That is sad. I need to go back to first grade. But yeah, it's really crazy. All this crazy stuff happening at once, and it's like you know, and then it gets epic. And even better, there's no buttons to fire the laser. You fire with a second joystick. You're using 2 joysticks.
Oh, 2 joysticks.
You got 1 joystick per hand.
I have a hard time just playing 1 joystick.
Man, you need that D-pad, huh?
I guess so. I mean, my
that
gosh.
thumbstick. Nah, joysticks are the way.
Joysticks are the way.
It is the way, son.
Oh, that stupid meme.
Oh,
Alright.
I didn't even know it was a meme. I just made that shit up.
Well,
But
okay.
yeah, Robotron. The reason I picked it for this segment is because although you and I have both played it, it's something
Well, I haven't
that
played it, but
it's something that I haven't gotten a chance to really like dig into in depth before.
until now.
Yeah.
So
So that's all I got for now.
I'll tell you what, you kind of made me want to do it. Robots. But
Yeah, exactly.
then you did the 2 joystick thing, so I was kind of like, oh crap.
Hard.
Because the gameplay, I mean, I could barely do 1, let alone 2 at the same time.
I
It's like,
actually
crap.
think having the 2 joysticks makes it easier.
Is it kind of like a plane thing, or just like shooting bullets? Or
No,
something?
it's not a flight yoke thing. It's like, you have 1 joystick. Like, let's take Donkey Kong. You got the left hand with the joystick,
Yeah.
and better example is Galaga.
Okay.
So you got the joystick in the left hand moving the ship and the fire button. So now let's make the ship move in all directions with the left hand.
Ah, so like 3D.
It's not 3D, it's, kinda. It's more like up, down, left, right, but it's not really a 3D perspective. Kinda 3D.
So up, down, left, right, and then the other one's just
The
like
other one, so we got movement with the left hand, and as you're moving, you can fire in whatever direction you want by just moving the joystick in that direction. So if I'm moving to the left and I want to fire up, I move this joystick leftward and push the other joystick up with my right hand. I'm going to fire up. It actually is kind of intuitive.
Ah, okay. Now I gotcha.
So there you
Well-
go. And that's all I got for Robotron.
Well,
Slam.
that is a pretty interesting game, to say the least.
It
I mean,
is.
I wish
It's unique.
if I hadn't seen it, you probably would have maybe won me over, but I have seen it, and it's still kind of,
It's bizarre.
it's bizarre, to say the least. It reminds me of a psychedelic dream almost.
You have to. It's kind of hard to follow, but I think for me it's the artwork on it and the sound effects for a change, and the gameplay to an extent. It's like the overall package,
All right, well,
That's all I have. Slam, why don't you
Thanks.
tell us about
I'm going to tell you
this awesome book/TV show that you're into now?
Okay, well, here we go. I have, as you have known, I have been a sci-fi fan
Oh yes.
for a long, long time. And one of the things that I have read, you remember that physics class I took during the summer? Chemistry class I took during the summer?
Oh yeah, with
High school?
Uncle Hyuk.
In Uncle Hyuk, yeah.
Guys.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Continue.
I read this book and did a book report to get more points and all that stuff about sci-fi, like science in sci-fi shows and books and all that stuff. And it was actually pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So
Okay.
then all of a sudden, James Cameron's Story of Science Fiction came out. It recently came out, like maybe a month ago, I think, or something like that. And I don't know. I mean, I was pretty interested. I was interested in like all this other stuff because in this type of thing because it wasn't like just about all these people that just are big sciencey people just getting their opinions on it. It was actually like filmmakers. He actually got like Spielberg and Guillermo del Toro and all these people. He interviewed all these people.
Right.
So I was kind of like, okay, might as well just watch it, and I was hooked, man. Like when
I kind of want to see this now.
Yes, it is great. It's 6 episodes. It's like 42 minutes apiece without commercials.
That's
and
not too bad.
they each deal with like a specific field in sci-fi. Like you get episode 1 is like aliens. Episode 2 is space.
Oh God, it's George.
Yes, there's George. Episode 3 is monsters. Episode 4 is dark futures, which is like the dystopian type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Episode 5 is intelligent machines, which is AI and all that stuff. And episode 6 is time travel.
I want to see the one with Arnold.
Here's the criticism that I have of the show. Even though it's great,
Sure.
here's the problem.
And here it is.
So James Cameron seems to like only have interviewed his friends and no one else. There's other people. There's other
Really?
people on the show. He just doesn't interview them, and it's really weird because Sigourney Weaver, I guess, was friends with him. I guess maybe they have like a falling out or somewhere. I guess even though she was in Avatar, which came out like maybe almost 10 years ago. So I guess I don't know what happened there. But he interviewed Arnold, but he didn't interview Sigourney Weaver, and that's kind of weird. But anyway. There's this person that teaches sci-fi like movies and whatever media from Georgia Tech.
Right.
And she's in there.
Oh boy.
And like there's all these like science majors in there along with other people like Keanu Reeves, he's in there.
Oh, Keanu?
Keanu Reeves, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know why I say Keanu. But anyway.
Keanu Reeves.
He's in there. There's like all this other stuff, all these other people that's in there. And they don't just go into like the good sci-fi. They also deal with like the bad sci-fi. They actually deal with like all the good stuff that's in bad sci-fi, like the Alien vs. Predator movies and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. There's actually a segment about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. In the movie.
I mean, that just makes you want to go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, goodbye, Sam.
So yeah, it's just, but that's just really weird. It's like he talks with these specific people. It's like Guillermo del Toro, George Lucas, Christopher Nolan, Ridley Scott, and Steven Spielberg. They're all like sci-fi directors. Like him. But then you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, the odd one out. You're just wondering like
He was in a damn good pinball machine.
Yeah, he was,
and a pinball machine that wasn't quite as damn good.
I get that he was in 3 of James Cameron's movies, but why Arnold? He's just like, I don't think Arnold's really thinking about like sci-fi except how it gets him money. Really, I mean, James Cameron is just enthralled with sci-fi.
Arnold seems to really get into his character though.
I guess so.
Compared to some actors, they just act it, but then they don't associate themselves with that anymore.
I guess so.
But Arnold, like when he plays the Terminator character, he's like he actually seems like he's really trying to get into the persona of it. and he gets into the sci-fi thing, and
I guess so, but whenever he was being interviewed by James Cameron, I was just like, okay, why Arnold? I mean, Sigourney Weaver.
your problem is the fact that he's not a director.
No, my problem is, like, all of them, every single person that James Cameron interviews, like directly interviews, are like main directors.
That's
like
what I just said.
No, they're like mainline directors. Like
Sorry,
that
they're mainline directors,
yeah,
not
they're
just
encompassing.
directors.
They're encompassing sci-fi.
My bad.
Like they're encompassing, like they've changed sci-fi for
Yes.
forever. I mean, Arnold was a big part of it too. Yeah, granted, but I mean, he's an actor. He hasn't really like developed any stories or anything. He's like the odd one out. He's like, of all these, like, of the 6 people that James Cameron interviewed, which one's different? Arnold. There you go.
Exactly.
That's a little weird. And it's also like, why didn't he interview all the rest of the people too? Like,
Yeah, to be honest, the only one I want to see is Arnold. I wish he did the actors instead. But
I
that's
guess so. I mean, yeah, just interview more actors too. I mean, but what also I find really interesting is like there's 6 people that he interviews, I guess, and within each episode there's like specific people that change that specific like area of the thing. And episode 1 is aliens, and Steven Spielberg, I mean, the main ones he did was like Close Encounters and E.T., so he's like the main focus there. Episode 2 is space, where you got George Lucas,
Oh man.
where Lucas. Oh, he's coming up. I'm going to talk to him talk to you about him further.
God.
He's got he changed that with Star Wars and like the entire space epicness of it, of all that. Episode 3, Monsters, you got Guillermo del Toro's like the main focus there, I guess. Guillermo del Toro, he made like all these monster movies, like
Oh, Guillermo del Toro. Oh, okay.
yeah, he made like all these movies with like
That's Spanish for William, by the way. I don't know
Yes.
if you knew that.
yeah, because he's Mexican, so there you go.
Vamos.
Yeah, so he made all these great movies like Pacific Rim, which I think is great. The Shape of Water. He's made all these monsters. He's like a great monster director and all that. And Dark Futures with like Christopher Nolan, I guess. He's like the main focus there. Like Inception, Inception, but also like Interstellar, which he's directed and all that.
Right, and definitely not Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman too, but
Oh,
it's
wow.
not science fiction.
So definitely not Batman.
Batman's not science fiction.
Definitely not. No.
No,
No,
Batman's
at all.
not science fiction.
I was right this time.
He directed Batman, but he's not like Batman's not science fiction.
And you know what? You're right. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So
Oh, I said I was right.
episode 5 with intelligent machines, you got Arnold because he played the Terminator and he's an intelligent machine kind of. And episode 6, you got time travel, and there's other people too, like Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott, I guess, was the main guy in that one, I guess. So yeah, he's just like all these people just kind of coincide with like all these different type of things, I guess. And now for the book. The book dwells a little bit more with the it's more of a like all these people he interviewed, like the 6 people he interviewed, it's like the entire interview with Guillermo del Toro, George Lucas, Christopher Nolan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ridley Scott, and Steven Spielberg. Now here's the thing though. This book got major attention because George Lucas let slip his sequel trilogy and what his sequel trilogy was going to be. Do you know what it was going to be?
Probably not the actual sequel trilogy.
Oh, absolutely not. It was going to be worse. It was going to be 10 times worse than the prequels.
Oh, I know, and thank God he didn't make the sequels, and we got
Yes.
Daisy Ridley. Oh, acid bomb.
Yes. So the sequel trilogy, apparently, that George Lucas was going to make, it was kind of like an Inside Out type of thing.
True. Now let's keep it related to the book, though.
This is in the book.
Oh.
It's in the book that he discusses.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah. So
I was saving you from going off topic, but you're on topic.
I am on topic.
All right, let's hear it.
So in the book, he details like what the sequel trilogy is going to be about. It was going to be about these people called the Wills, and you know what the Wills did? It's like this
retarded, probably.
It's like these microscopic people, like a whole different world. These microscopic people who like fed off of the Force, and like midi-chlorians were like a big huge part of it too.
Oh, he brought it back. That's good.
He brought back the midi-chlorians. He brought back. It was gonna be so stupid. It was about you wouldn't even see like Luke or Leia or anybody. You would see like these little microscopic people, and they would like called the Wills, and like this entire world is like microscopic within his galaxy. That would be the Secret Trilogy. Would you watch that? If it had absolutely no Luke, no Leia, no Han, no anybody.
No Ridley.
No Ridley either.
That would
Maybe
really
Ridley.
suck.
Maybe Ridley would be a will if you really wanted to do it, but it had absolutely no connection with the prequels or the
Daisy
original
Ridley
trilogy.
was in it, then I'd watch it. If not, then absolutely no way. Because the prequel, it sounds exactly like the same kind of BS in the prequels, and
Yes.
once was
even
enough.
worse. It was even worse because it had absolutely no tie-in with like Luke
To
or
me,
Darth
that
Vader or
sounds
anybody.
like he's letting his ADHD that I diagnosed him with get the best of him. You have to really have some ADHD to think about that kind of creative ideas.
And I read the thing too.
I've thought of
details it.
things as weird as that, but the difference is I just keep it to myself or joke around with friends about it, but I know it's not something that the general public may like. I'm not going to make a movie out of it. Like, for example, I get creative making fun of the redneck culture that I live kind of around and in. My southern heritage with the hard-body Neeson of mine, you know. Amen. All that good stuff.
But you're not going to make a movie about it.
I mean, the most I'd do for that's a few YouTube videos, but that'd be it.
Yeah, I mean,
See, for a YouTube video, it'd be okay, but
but anyway,
yes, exactly like that.
and you know what? You know what George admitted to?
What did he admit to?
He admitted that the fans would hate this.
Ha!
He admits that people would absolutely despise these movies. But at least
I'm glad he was honest. That's respect.
Yeah, he also said too that at least his story would be complete. At least his story would have a beginning, middle, and end.
Well, you know
I have
what?
no idea how it would end like that.
If
Because
he
he's
wants to
accusing
do
him.
it, then he can make some fan fiction-ish stuff and
I mean,
write
yeah.
it in books.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's the only thing he can do really anymore. He can't make any movies because he sold it to Disney. But
Yep.
anyway, yeah, that was kind of cringeworthy and also it just dives into like other people too, like Steven Spielberg, like how he got into sci-fi. Like Steven Spielberg apparently like his inspiration for E.T. and Close Encounters was like his family life. Like his entire like family life. Like the reason why E.T. his family was divorced, like his family, Steven's family was divorced. So that's why there's a divorced like middle class like cul-de-sac like American family, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, down to earth American family was in E.T. That's the reason why, because his family was
He expressed what he wanted in a family.
he expressed like his family,
His ideal family.
not his ideal family, but like his,
The family that was real that he didn't like.
I guess, like,
Oh, they were divorced in E.T.?
yeah, his
Oh.
father was divorced. Like the
I
parents
don't
were
remember
divorced.
that from it, but I'll take your word for it.
Like his entire he drew from his own inspirations, like his own family.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So it details stuff like that, like Ridley Scott,
Uh-huh.
how they got into sci-fi, like all the stuff they did. Like there's a lot of like the Outer Limits. There's a lot of Outer Limits talk, a lot of Twilight Zone talks,
That's
a lot
good.
of a lot of apparently like there was this old magazine called Astonishing. This old sci-fi thing.
Huh.
This old sci-fi magazine called Astonishing, and just I guess that it inspired a lot of people. It inspired them too. Arnold was just again the odd boy out. It was just really weird how he got inspiration for sci-fi and all that.
Right.
It mostly talked about how he got into like how he got hired to be the Terminator. And I guess talked a little bit about the True Lies, but that was more like an action movie, not really a sci-fi movie. But yeah, it talked a lot about the Terminator because that's really like all he's got with James Cameron and himself. But
It's worth mentioning too, because
it's a great. Again, they are great movies. I'm not saying that, but it's just. I mean, what does Arnold have to really?
maybe
offer
it's
the
the
table?
fact that he's a great speaker communicator. You have to. Well, I mean, let's not forget he was the governor of California, so
That's true, but I guess. I mean, he's got a great accent.
maybe that it was that too.
You gotta really pay attention to his voice, I guess. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a great book. I will give it this. If you like books that have nothing but interviews in them, this is the book for you.
And the book for Slam.
And the book for me too. I actually picked this up today,
Is
and
it
I read
the
the
book
entire.
for me? I don't know.
I actually read this book.
You read the entire book today?
I bought the thing at like 1:30 and read the entire thing, and it's now 10:45 p.m. I read the entire thing before you got here to do this.
How long is this?
It's an extremely long book. It's like 300 pages long.
You read every page of this.
Yes.
How? I can't. I'm not even gonna ask. I read books so slowly. It's not even funny. I just can't read books fast, and I get annoyed at the amount of pages, and then I just set it down and do something else.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much the exact same way. I'm probably going to do a review on this one book.
But this is a page turner for you.
Apparently, I mean, I got really focused into like the interviews. I mean, into how like James Cameron, along with all the other people, got their inspirations and all that.
Okay.
It is a truly great book, and yeah, and a truly great series too. It's kind of like has the inspirations from like the Cosmos. I saw a lot of the Cosmos type of thing in there, like there are
Wow.
all these interviews like from the Cosmos, and
How about Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman?
not quite that.
No Freeman this time.
No Freeman.
Power of the God.
No Freeman, but there was a lot
Man.
more like the Cosmos. Like it was wrapping you into sci-fi and all that, which I have to commend. I have to commend them for. I have to commend James Cameron for this because I know this is a kind of money maker type of thing for him because he's literally made nothing since Avatar. He's just making Avatar sequels, but he's got to make some revenue, so and become more relevant. So he's just made this. He could have done worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Good job, James. And yeah, have I won you over, my son?
A little bit. Get rid of the phi, add the fact, and maybe.
All right, well, I'll tell you this.
But I may read it just for the Terminator stuff because I like that franchise.
It dwelt with a little bit of something too. Like James Cameron, like a lot of the stuff, people say like science fiction inspired like science fact, which I believe, not in like a directly, but I think they did.
Definitely.
I think they did. James addresses this, like science fiction does not directly influence science fact.
But
like
it does indirectly.
Yeah, it does.
People get inspired by like fictional ideas and think, how can I make this a real thing?
Yeah, because the internet,
And sometimes, people just come up with the ideas and then they make it real, like directly straight, like one thing after the other.
Kind of like the internet. The internet was like in sci-fi, but it was like in big bulky machines, and they were kind of like within people, I guess. It was really weird. It's like some Twilight Zone type of stuff, or like other type of sci-fi shows where it's just like it showed like mainframes of like people like sharing information telepathically.
Yeah.
There was never ever like personal computers. They were never,
not back then, though.
According to James Cameron, like all the stuff that he saw, he never saw like personal computers ever. But yet we have personal computers.
Yeah, we do.
However, I will say this though, Star Trek and other types of things like Dick Tracy and all that, Star Trek influenced the flip phone, like the cell phone.
Yeah.
Without Star Trek, I do not think that we would have gotten the flip phone or cell phones in general.
There you go.
Without Dick Tracy, like with his watch phone that he can get, that he could talk to people on his watch TV from his watch, listen to radio on his watch.
There's a smartphone. There's smartwatch.
There's the smartwatch. I mean, there's that. I mean, without 2001: A Space Odyssey, we wouldn't have gotten the name of the iPod. I mean, the whole reason why it's called the iPod is because the guy from 2001: A Space Odyssey asks Hal to open the pod bay doors. That's where
Steve Jobs got the name iPod, was from that.
From pod in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yes.
That's where he got the pod part from.
Yes. That's where he got it from.
I would not have ever put that together, but okay.
But yeah, that's where he got it from.
All right then.
You see, sci-fi has, it's this whole thing, James Cameron's story of science fiction is like a celebration.
It is.
Of
it is
sci-fi.
Indeed.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I can tell. You spoke about it for like half an hour.
Yeah. I whipped through it. I whipped through
sure did.
The book and the show all within a day. That's how I just discovered it. I pretty much discovered it, like, I just said, okay, might as well just watch the series. Literally, this morning, whipped through the entirety of it. And I never, ever read a book that fast.
All right.
And that's all I got for this. Yeah, I know. You're probably just like, oh, crap, I can't believe you just talked about it. Well, now you know how I feel sometimes when you talk about pinball.
You talk about, I'm not going to get into that on the podcast, but
yeah.
We talk about things off and on. It's life.
Yes, it is. And yeah, sometimes you go a little long. Sometimes I go a little long with this. And
it's just talking about what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
That's what we're doing here on this podcast. We haven't come up with a name for the podcast yet, but yeah.
Feel free to suggest some names, and if we like what we see, we may even pick your idea. You never know unless you try, folks.
Indeed. So now we're going into the questions. Apparently we don't have any questions, so I'll just ask you one. What's your favorite pinball machine?
What's my favorite pinball machine?
Yes.
Funhouse, probably.
Funhouse? That's your favorite pinball machine?
I would say so, yeah. And that's because of... It's got a rule set it's deep, but not the Simpsons Pinball Party deep. Because that game's like, holy crap, it's insane. But Funhouse's, the depth of the rule set is just enough that it's, it doesn't give you ridiculously fast ball time. You know, you can get in there and dig into it for a bit and feel excellent reward from it. But it's not overbearing where you have to stand there till your legs feel like they're going to fall off. And you got the plunger on both sides. You got the second plunger for the bonus ramp. I forgot the name of it, but there's a ramp over there on the left. The crazy steps. Yeah, that's what it was. And you got Rudy, the talking dummy, who is, inspired by ventriloquist dummies from performing acts. They just made it a robot, basically. That's really what it is, just a robotic animatronic head inside a pinball machine.
Yeah, that's why you like it?
That plus the voice acting for it's hilarious. Like, hey, Spunky, you can have it back. There's an extra ball. Look over there. What was that?
Is he man or is he machine?
Stay away from the clock. I'm not happy with you now. I'm not hungry. Yeah, he also screamed.
Speaking of which, we're going to do a review.
So yeah, yes, we got a review coming up of Funhouse.
Yes. But anyway, you got a question for me?
Sure.
Link to a question.
For the sake of time, let's keep it brief. So we're getting short on time here.
Indeed. As silence fills the room, he thinks of a question.
What is the best Terminator film there?
Terminator 2. That was an easy question.
I agree.
Because Terminator 1, I mean, is a pretty... It has a lot of... That movie is really quotable. And the quotableness comes into Terminator 2. But Terminator 1, I mean, it was pretty good. The special effects are kind of dated nowadays. It was a really, really great sci-fi movie. But Terminator 2 just brings it up times 11. It's just... The effects are great even to this day. There's very, very little CGI. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, they did fly a helicopter underneath. They actually did fly a helicopter underneath some impasse.
Wow,
bridges.
Really?
Yes.
That must have been terrifying. But
yes, it was. And yes, they did it. The only CGI that was really there was actually whenever it was like the T-1000.
Yeah.
Whenever the T-1000 healed, or whenever you saw like metal goop.
Oh yeah.
That's
I'm sure that's CGI.
The only time it was CGI. Everything else was practical. Literally everything
They
else.
made it look accurate too, like he morphed back into the suit he was wearing.
Yes. And you probably see that from like the trailers and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, you know where I've seen it from?
What?
The promo video for the pinball machine.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of a trailer for the movie. They were released at the same time.
Indeed.
Like the pinball machine wasn't like later, it came out with the movie. I think the arcade game did too.
Indeed.
And
But yeah, Terminator 2 is the best one. Terminator 3, that was just...
That one was
that just
not as good.
That retconned the entire Terminator 2, like...
Hype.
No, it's...
Not even that.
It retconned the lesson where the future is not set. Terminator 3, apparently the future is set. And Terminator Salvation was just a piece of crap. And then Terminator Genesis kind of retconned the entirety of it. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
This is why this new Terminator movie is coming out. I guess that's like a direct sequel to Terminator 2.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. It's like Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis. None of them happened. This upcoming
Those all sucked, and now they're like, all right, let's go back to what was good about 2.
Yeah, let's go back to the basics.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I said yes.
Oh, I
may
said yes.
have to see that in the theater.
It's kind of like the new Halloween movie. It's like a direct sequel to the first Halloween movie.
Didn't they already do a reboot of that series though?
They did. There's so many Halloween movies.
Yeah.
They just did. You said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do a direct sequel.
Do they all
to
have
first
the
movie. This movie
song?
does.
Oh, good.
This movie.
That's good. That's good. Good. That's
Yes,
good parody.
This new movie does have that music. It's a direct sequel. Mike Myers did not break out. He did not die. The main woman from the first one, she didn't die. Apparently she died in like whatever movie. But yeah, there you go. Enough said. Now, my last question for you, and you asked my last question for me. What got you into pinball?
I played pinball for the first time when I was like 3, maybe something like that, at my grandparents' house. On their computer, it had that pinball game that Windows used to come with up until I think XP. After
XP?
I think that was the last one that had it. Because Vista, I think, dropped the pinball game. It was at 3D Space Cadet.
So you played...
That was my
fake-
first pinball experience.
Your first pinball experience was fake pinball.
Yeah. That was when I learned
Okay.
about its existence as a concept.
Oh.
And I loved it. I was
And-
like, this is fun.
How old were you with this? 6?
Probably 3.
Oh, 3. Just...
Top pinball.
that young. Okay, cool beans. And thus the pinball just formed.
Yeah, I liked it ever since, and I played a real pinball machine, like I mentioned earlier, and then
When you were 6?
probably 4.
Oh, a year later.
Yeah, or 3. Hell, I don't know. The events happened within like the similar time frame,
Oh, I gotcha.
and I remember that this pinball machine I just loved it so much. It was such a fun game, but it was are you familiar with Helen, Georgia?
I am,
It
actually.
was up there. So
Oh, there.
Helen used to have this.
That's the German town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a similar town in Michigan. It's called Frankenmuth. Which is really German. We used to go there a lot. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We thought Helen would take the place of Frankenmuth. It didn't, but it was a fun, enjoyable experience. So you played a pinball machine in Helen then.
Yes, Helen used to have this little
Arcade?
amusement park.
Oh.
It wasn't like Six Flags or anything like that, but it had, like a lower end roller coaster. It had like bumper cars, and I remember it had this one ride where you'd get in it and it would spin around a lot. I don't know how, I'd have to like draw it out on paper to explain it, but it's kind of like the teacup rides at Disney World, but it went up and down more aggressively, I think. It wasn't just on a flat plane. So they had that. And so this place had an arcade, and it had 2 floors, and the only 2 machines I remember this place having were a claw machine and this pinball machine. And that's where I first played a real pinball machine, was High Speed 2 The Getaway in Helen.
And the pinball obsession
It
never
stuck,
died.
and after that I was like, 1, can I have a pinball machine? Son, no.
So no.
I
But you
eventually
changed
got
it.
one, but it was a Toy Story 2 based. It was Woody's Roundup.
Yeah, Toy Story 2 pinball machine
It
that
was-
exists.
It's not anything special. Don't get your hopes up.
Oh man.
It's not like that fun.
Oh man.
It's more fun for you to look at. It's It doesn't even have a rule set. You just launch the ball and just hit stuff with the flippers and hope for the best.
That's my pinball machine.
Yeah, pretty much. No rule set.
No
it's
rules.
small. The flippers are not like electromechanical. They're purely mechanical. So, yes, the harder you hit the button, the harder it flips the ball.
Oh my gosh, where is this?
It's just like you try to play on the real machines, which does absolutely nothing different. Wait. Skits had an idea.
Skits had an idea.
Look out one day for a pinball machine, like an actual pinball machine, where the strength of how hard you press the button determines how hard you flip the flipper.
Okay.
I kind of want to build that now.
Well, did ask. Now ask me your final
And that's
question.
all I got. All right, last thing before we close out.
You could ask me the same question. I don't care.
What got you into pinball?
No.
All right, well, that's
Some
not...
that's some inspiration there, but whatever.
Go
ahead, ask me a question.
Sure. Dream car. What is it?
My dream car.
Yes.
Any question in the entire world you asked to dream
Yes, that's exactly what I asked.
car? Okay. Well, my dream car would probably be a 1957 Chevy. Why 1957 Chevy?
Talking about that boneless Bel Air.
Yes, the boneless Bel Air. Why that car? Because it is
Those are beautiful.
It's futuristic.
Futuristic. How is it futuristic?
Because for some reason in the 50s, they were obsessed with the future, and they were like, oh my gosh, we're going to do all this great stuff. This is when sci-fi hit its boom, really.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, we're doing all this great stuff in the future. Sputnik. Oh my gosh, what the heck, Sputnik? Let's make our own satellites, and people just going crazy. And it's just, cars were doing the same thing. They got the fins.
Yeah,
which-
that was like when that first happened. It was like the transition from the styling that carried over from the 40s to the thinned stuff that went on in the early 60s.
Yeah, so you got the fins, you got like the white interior that's just like I for some reason I just love the white interior. It was just awesome. It just looks
Well, they have
really
multiple
nice.
interior color choices, I'm sure,
But the white one was just
Yeah, white
really,
looks
really
good.
nice. Especially along the red. It was also it had like it's convertible. It's just awesome. I just love the Bel Air. Yes.
about that, showing him a picture as we speak, and he
Yes.
said yes.
Yes.
Said
That-
yes
I-
thrice.
I mean, I know what it is. That's why I said 1957 Chevy Bel
That's a
Air.
55. You see this and you just hear da-da-da,
Why does it say
da-da-da-da,
1957?
da-da-da. Why?
It says 1957. So there you go. I was right.
Well, I looked up a 57.
Yeah, I said 1957 Chevy.
I know, and that's why I looked it up.
1957 Chevy Bel Air. Greatest car ever. Wish I could buy it, but probably won't. Because I'll never have that enough money to buy it.
And you probably would. I have
Or-
a feeling.
And it probably will never be around where I can just buy it off the car lot or whatever and just drive it home.
Here's one in Minnesota for $21,000.
Again, Minnesota. Minnesota. It's not in Georgia.
So you can have it shipped.
Anyway.
And it is at a dealership.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's in Minnesota. I would have to ship it down.
New
Again.
Jersey. Oh,
Well-
there's Tennessee. You could drive that.
Nah, well, I guess if it's red.
There
Anyway.
are possibilities, mate.
There are
Oh,
possibilities.
a red
Yes.
one in Atlanta
Oh, well.
for $98,000.
Yeah, well, I don't have enough money, so. Deadass.
Man, I'm getting carried away. I can't
You are
look
getting
at that.
carried away. Anyway,
Oh,
that
that's what she said.
that's what she said.
Oh,
The Office. Oh, we're gonna hear about The Office later.
Sure.
Soon in these other podcast episodes. But anyway, that's it for this podcast. I think this was a fairly good introductory podcast, I guess.
It's a good way to start it. We'll keep it up, work out the bugs,
Yeah, there was a ton of bugs.
make it more efficient,
Yes, make it more
get to the point.
make it more awesome.
There you go.
If you
more
have any-
awesomeness.
If you have any critiques, just comment below. If you have any questions, comment below, and we'll answer them in your dead ass next one. And yeah, if you we're gonna have probably a Patreon. I'm trying to get a Patreon up and running. So yeah, if you want to support the Patreon, just go into the description below, and yeah, money would go a long way, especially for us. And yeah, we're gonna split 50-50, so don't worry, you would get some money there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, so anyway, if you would like to support us, just go on to Patreon, and if you like to have any questions, just comment below. You have to email? No, nothing about it. Just comment below. We'll answer them anyway.
There you have it, guys.
Anything for you?
That's it, I think.
That's it for me.
That wraps it up for this episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
Hopefully they'll be around every Thursday. And
Yes.
yeah, and so there you are. Adios.
Adios.